Why and how I started the culinary school? Why? Hanggang ngayon, tinatanong ko pa rin yung sarili ko, why? Sa lahat ng business na tinayo ko, ang culinary school ang pinaka-challenging because we're not just dealing about, jobs here. We're dealing about the future of our students and the future of the industry. So, why? I still don't know why. But what I know is it was a calling. There was a calling for me to be able to do this kasi lahat ng ayaw ko, yun yung binibigay ni Lord na direction. And alam kong kaya ako nandito kasi kahit na anong problema ang mangyari sa school, siya din ang nagpo-provide ng solusyon.
Behind every dish is a story of struggle, hope, and triumph. Today, we share the journey of Chef May from Baguio, Benguet, a woman whose life was shaped by hardship yet illuminated by strength. After losing her husband, she was confronted with a grief deep enough to break anyone. But in the face of pain, Chef May made a choice, not to surrender, but to rise. With courage in her heart and purpose in her hands, she transformed adversity into inspiration, proving that even in life's darkest moments, strength can create something beautiful.
Hi, I'm Chef Mary Grace Sabalatorio, but most of my students call me Chef May. For some of my employees, they call me Ate May. I hate to be called ma'am, so it's always either Ate May or Chef May lang. I grew up in Dagupan City and Baguio City. So basically, elementary, I was here in Baguio, and then high school, I was in Pangasinan, Dagupan City. And college, first 2 years, I think, was in Manila. But I didn't get to finish during that time. The core value of our business, it would depend on the business. For my BPO business, my main priority for that business is to be able to put food on the table para sa mga employees ko and, give good quality service to our clients at a very affordable rate. For my catering business, my goal there is to create memorable experience for not only for our customers but also for their guests. We make sure that it's memorable even sa food na kinakain nila. And for my culinary business, the school, that one is the closest to my heart as of the moment. My mission or my purpose for putting up this business is because I believe that we Filipinos deserve quality education at an affordable price. Why and how I started the culinary school? Why? Hanggang ngayon, tinatanong ko pa rin yung sarili ko, why? Sa lahat ng business na tinayo ko, ang culinary school ang pinaka-challenging because we're not just dealing about jobs here. We're dealing about the future ng ating mga students at, the future of the industry. So, why? I still don't know why. But what I know is, it was a calling. Talagang nilagay ako ni Lord on this path. Kasi, imagine mo nung bata ako, ayokong magturo, ayokong galito, and I hate baking, I hate cooking. There was a calling for me to be able to do this kasi lahat ng ayaw ko, yun yung binibigay ni Lord na direction. And alam kong kaya ako nandito kasi kahit na anong problema ang mangyari sa school, siya din ang nagpo-provide ng solusyon. Ito yung naging medium niya at medium ko din for me to be able to widen my reach na, okay, these are my life lessons. Ito yung mga pinagdaanan ko na sana hindi nyo pagdaanan. Ito yung mga makakatulong sa life ninyo kasi I was so blessed in my life. And how else would I be able to give back? And this is my avenue on giving back. This is already my legacy. Pangit mang aminin, but here in the Philippines, ang diploma at ang papel malaking bagay pa din. Kasi hindi ako naniniwala sa education system before. Feeling ko ang education system was a scam. Pero isa kasi sa mga naging challenge ko, like nung nasa call center ako, was hindi ako na-promote dahil wala akong diploma. Naisampal na naman sa akin yon nung ako ay, eto na, nung may school na. Some parents would come here and say, saan ka ba nag-graduate? And then when they found out that I'm not a college graduate, ay, hindi na pala mag-i-enroll. Nadi-discourage sila because for them, napakalaking bagay yung meron silang papel na nakikita na you're qualified. And even though may mga credentials ka na, you made it in life, pag wala ka palang diploma, pag wala ka palang certifications, nawawala yung validation ng lahat ng success mo. It was so difficult, even though I didn't want to go back to college. At 40, I made it a point and I made it a gift to myself that before ako mag-41, matapos ko ang bachelor's degree ko. What I did was, I enrolled through the ATIAP program. It's a program in the government na kapag ka meron ka ng life experience or meron ka ng employment experience, masya-shorten yung college life. Instead na mag-4 years ka, pwedeng 2 years, 1 year, ganyan. I was blessed that I was able to finish my bachelor's degree in 6 months. I was actually one of the first na binigyan ni LaSalle ng diploma ng 6 months. For a lot of people, ang dami nilang takot na babalik ng college, even ako, nung nag-culinary ako, ang mga kaklase ko, ang babata. Ako yung pinakamatanda nung nag-culinary ako. And then, syempre, andun yung takot na, okay, 40 na ako, magka-college uli ako. Diba? Babalik ko lang uli ako sa Hasang na hello. Isipin mo, magtitisis ka. Suddenly, at 40, ang pinoproblema mo, hindi budget. Ang pinoproblema mo, paano ko ipapasa yung thesis ko? Problema ng isang 20-year-old, pinoproblema ng isang 40-year-old. But, I had to do that because it's important as an educator. Diba, napaka-hypocrite ako naman na sabihin sa mga estudyante ko na tapusin niyo yung pag-aaral ninyo kung ako mismo hindi nagtapos. At the same time, as a mother, ang hirap-hirap din na, hipokrita din ako. Pag sasabihin ko sa mga anak ko na, oy, magtapos kayo ng kolehiyo tapos ako hindi tapos. So ayoko kasing naninermon, ayoko kasing nagagalit sa mga anak ko. I want to lead by example. I want to teach by example. So I always, yung mga anak ko, they would tell me, kung ikaw nga at 40 nagtapos ng college, anong karapatan ko na hindi ako magtatapos ng college? Or anong karapatan ko na hindi ako magbibigay ng magandang grade? If you set a goal for yourself, no excuses, do it. Because you'll never know if bukas magagawa mo pa yun o hindi. I started helping with my mother's flower shop as early as 13. What happened was, my father died. All of a sudden, single mom na si mama. During the wake of my dad, parang sabi ng mama ko, paano ko bubuhayin yung mga anak ko? Since my dad is a little bit famous at that time, medyo daming kakilala, maraming connection. Like everywhere she looked, ang daming bulaklak. So, if I'm not mistaken, 1,000 plus yung stand pa lang. And then yung basket nasa 700 plus. So, literal na kahit 3 beses na pakanto pabalik, punong-puno yun ng bulaklak. So, sabi niya, akala siguro kasi ng mga tao, mayaman kami kasi nga medyo well-off, medyo kilala si Papa, kaya hindi sila masyado nagbigay ng abuloy na pera. So, sabi ni Mama, kung binigay niyo na lang na pera, siguro naging milyonaryo kami, gano'n. And then she realized na okay, sige, kung panay bulaklak naman na nakikita ko, siguro ito na yung sign ni Lord para gumawa na lang ako ng business na flower shop. She started the flower shop, but because my mom can't handle everything on her own, nagkaroon ng division of labor sa bahay. Si ate, siya ang magte-take care ng mga kapatid ko. So she would be the one taking care of the house and everything na kailangan sa bahay. And my mom said, since ikaw naman yung madaldal at ikaw naman yung mabibo, you help me in the business, in the flower shop. So I had to be there. I had to become the breadwinner, so to speak. I have to become the manager at the age of 14. I always believed that I'm gonna end up having my own business. After getting married, ang laki ng change ko. I have to make a lot of adjustment for the relationship to work. When my husband passed away, it was really a difficult time. Kasi diba, I mentioned na kami lang yung magkaibigan. We made each other best friend. Umikot ang mundo namin sa isa't isa. And then all of a sudden, you wake up, wala na yung kasama mo sa business, wala ka ng kaibigan, wala ka ng partner. It was so difficult during that time that I can't even grieve. I can't grieve because all of a sudden, ako na lahat yung nag-handle ng sa company. Back then, we have more than 100 plus employees in the BPO company. And I always tell myself na kapag ako nag-breakdown or ako bumagsak dahil sa depression ko, sa pagkawala ng asawa ko, saan kukuha ng pangkain yung lahat ng empleyado ko. I think that was when the time na nag-start na ako maging robot. Lahat ng ginagawa ko is by schedule. Even yung pag-iyak ko, ini-schedule ko yan. 3:30 in the morning, may alarm ako sa phone ko, time to cry, mga ganyan. Naka-compartmentalize, naka-segment. I would go on break. Pagdating ng 3:10, papasok ako ng CR. Iyak-iyak ng konti, emot-emot, kapit sa pader ng konti, ganyan. MMK moments, kung feel ko mag-MMK moments. Pero pag alarm ng relo ko ng 3:25, kailangan ko maghilamos, mag-retouch ng konti ng makeup para hindi ako mukhang iiyak, para paglabas ko sa mga empleyado ko, mataas pa rin ang moral nila. And then, pagising ng mga anak ko, hindi puffy yung eyes ko, okay ako. Ganun. So, ganun kasi, pag may-ari ka ng business at you're on the top, tas babae ka pa, iba ang challenge ng pagiging babaeng boss sa lalaking boss. Kasi usually pag babae ka, tinitingnan na malambot ka, na malambot ka na boss. But I had to play the role of a boss. I have to lead the company. And when you're leading a business, walang emosyon, walang lambot. Lalo na kung pinag-uusapan yung sweldo na makakabili ng pagkain ng mga empleyado. With the grace of God, talagang ginusto niya to para sa akin. Kasi I always tell, nung bata ako, sabi ko palagi, ayoko maging teacher, but ano ko ngayon? Teacher ako. Diba? Kasi, kahit na ayaw mong ito yung mangyari sa'yo, kahit na ayaw mo na ito ang direction mo, pag yun yung sinet na direction sa'yo ni God, wala kang magagawa. Yun yung susundin mo. And it is your responsibility, it is your job na pagbutihin mo yun. Kapag kaplano yan ni Lord para sa'yo, kahit gaano kalaki ang hurdles, problema sa business, ibibigay din niya yung solusyon. Nagiging madali. Kasi para sa'yo yon. So, sino ba naman ako para magtigas-tigasan pa ng ulo and to go against the divine power, diba? Susunod na lang tayo. Recently, my major achievement yung mga students ko. They were the first ever champion for the cooking festival of Strawberry Festival in La Trinidad. The first ever chefs na nanalo for the cooking village. In that competition, hindi siya ordinary competition kasi 3 days yon na competition. So, 3 elimination round yung nangyari. The first round was all about appetizers. From, I think, 16, naging 10 na lang sila the next day. And then, after 10, which is the salad competition, naging 6 na lang yata or 5 sila the next day. And then doon sa 5 na finalists, yung mga students ko ang nanalo ng first and second place. So, naging champion sila.
Hi, my name is Liza Sige and we won the competition Strawberry Festival Cooking Village Culinary Quest.
Hi, my name is Claire Cachero and I won Cooking Village Strawberry Festival 2026.
Proud ako, of course, sa partner ko, kay Chef Claire Cachero and also sa aking sarili. So actually, yung plano namin talaga from the first pa lang, Plan B, which is Plan B stands for Plan Back Out. Kasi po, kinakabahan kami kasi especially, this is my first time, pero siya pa second time na siya. So after po namin makarating sa round 3, we are so very proud po sa aming sarili. And we support each other po talaga.
Ang naramdaman ko po nung pagkatapos po namin nanalo ay sobrang saya ko po nun. Pero nung una kasi, pagod na pagod po kami straight 3 days. Kaya parang nagdududa na ako. Parang okay na kahit hanggang dito na lang. Pero nung may ibang plano po si God na hindi, wag kang sumuko. Ganun po. So parang nung umabot po kami ng finals, doon ko po pinush yung sarili ko na gawin ko yung best ko. Proud na proud po ako sa partner ko and sa sarili ko po na nagawa po namin yun and nanalo po kami.
Nag-aral po ako ng culinary school kasi I really love cooking. Kung familiar po kayo dun sa traditional cooking setup na tinatawag po naming tungkuan sa probinsya, 6 years old pa lang po ako, lagi na akong nakabitin dun sa may tungkuan namin kasi lagi kong pinapanood yung nanay ko sa pagluluto. Lagi po ako yung, sa 7 namin magkakapatid, lagi ako yung naiiwan sa lutuan kasi I really love cooking po. Gusto kong laging mag-discover, pero sa province po kasi namin, limited lang yung ingredients like bitchen, asin, paminta, ganun lang po. Pero Nag-aral po ako ng culinary. Actually, hindi po talaga kaya ng budget ang culinary school kasi alam ko po na mahal po talaga siya. Pero after ko pong mag-college, after ko pong makatapos ng kursong accountancy, pumunta naman po ako sa culinary. And then, nabigyan po ako ng chance na makapag-aral kasi po nakapagpatayo na ng restaurant. So, after the restaurant, kumita. So, meron na po kaming chance para makapag-aral. Meron na po akong chance para mag-aral ng culinary. And then, nagpunta po kami una sa Pika, here sa Baguio, pero hindi po naging maayos yung experience namin. And then, isa po sa aking mga klase, hinanap tong Lifleur, humanap ng ibang culinary school, and then nakita po namin yung Lifleur.
Nag-aral po ako ng culinary because nung bata po ako, hilig ko pong magluto. Pero nung nag-try po ako magluto nung una, yung kamatis po wala pong lasa. Eh, tinanong ko po si father ko, anong pwedeng mailagay dito para mas sumarap? Eh, nag-advise siya na lagyan ko ng seasonings, ganito, ganyan. Then, doon ko po nalaman na kailangan ko po palang matutunan pa ng mas malalim yung pagluluto.
Ang natutunan ko po sa Lifleur Hospitality Training Center na in a personal level, yun po yung patience and discipline. Kasi po, ang pag-aaral ng culinary, hindi siya overnight na improvement. Dahan-dahan po siya, pero nandun po sila sa likuran namin.
Dati po kasi, introvert po kasi ako eh. Kaya, kailangan sa kitchen, kailangan maging bossy ka. Pero hindi yung bossy na uutos-utusan mo yung mga kasama mo. Ang natutunan ko po is maging makihalubilo, ganun po. Tapos, ang mas natutunan ko po ay mas maging vocal po. Kasi tahimik po ako minsan eh, pag kailangan ko ng tulong, hindi po ako humingi ng tulong, kinakaya ko lang po. Lumabas po ako sa shell ko kasi dahil kay Chef May po. Hindi niya po kami tuturuan na parang, ganito, gawin mo, ganito, ganyan. Hindi po. Yung tuturuan niya po kami kalmado. Ganun. Yun po ang mas nagustuhan ko po sa amin. Kasi parang tropa vibes po yung pagtuturo niya po sa amin. Kaya mas naging confident ako.
Para po sa akin, si Chef May, she is more than a teacher to me kasi naging mabuti po talaga siya na advisor. Tapos po, natatandaan ko na sumali ako ng server festival nitong last week lang. Nandun po siya and then nung nakita niya ako na pressure, sabi niya, "Go Liza!" Pero meron pa po kami mga ibang student doon pero sumigaw siya ng malakas na, "Go Liza!" So that time po sobrang pressure, sobrang kinakabahan, sobrang natatakot po. Pero nung narinig ko po si Chef May, parang, "Shesh, meron pong naniniwala sa akin na teacher ko, na advisor ko, na nandun sa dulo." So that time, medyo nakahinga po ako. And I really, really appreciate po Chef May kasi tinulungan niya ako na mas ma-boost yung passion ko, na yung pagdududa ko po sa sarili ko, mapalitan ng tiwala na kakayanin mo yan.
Sobrang naiyak ako, sobrang proud ko, and it was a validation. Na nung nanalo sila, ang conclusion ko lang doon was, hindi ka pwedeng mapagod. Kasi ginusto mo to. At you are building confidence sa mga students mo na hindi ka pwedeng mapagod, hindi mo pwedeng hindian to kasi binigay sa ito ni Lord. Pangalawa, yung mga students ko nandito, in-entrust sa akin ni Lord. And it is because of them kung bakit nandito pa ako. Kailangan kong maging strong. Kailangan kong nandito pa rin para sa kanila. Kasi hindi biro na pinili nila yung school para mapabuti ang buhay nila. So, responsibilidad ko bilang teacher nila na yung time nila dito hindi masasayang at meron talaga silang paggagamitan ng mga natutunan nila at mabuo sila bilang tao, hindi lang bilang chef, hindi lang bilang professional, but as an individual, mabuo yung confidence nila, yung courage nila na kahit anumang laban na haharapin nila. Like for example yun, yung competition. Wala kaming practice doon. 2 days lang kami. 2 days lang bago kami sumabok sa competition. Na kahit anong sabak, kahit anong nervyos, they have the confidence to stand in front of a lot of people and say, eto ang kaya ko. The way I see it, money is not the root of all evil. If it will only be evil if you make it evil. However, it is a tool that would help you have a better life and have the life that you deserve or have the life that you want to deserve, and that money is something that flows. Hindi ka dapat selfish about it. dapat lahat ng tao sa paligid mo may kinabang. So with the skills, ganun din. May skills ka, kapag ka may gift sa'yo si Lord na magaling ka dito, hindi mo dapat inigip-gip yan. Dapat sinishare mo yan kasi dapat nagpo-flow din yan. Diba sa Chinese philosophy, sabi nila, kapag kaganyan ka, hindi papasok ang pera at hindi din papasok ang blessing sa'yo. Kailangan nakaganyan ka para dire-diretsong pasok ng pera, dire-diretsong pasok ang blessing sa'yo kasi iikot lang dapat yan. And the philosophy of paying it forward, once you earn, you have to make sure that hindi man sa pera, but you pay it forward by acts of service, by giving, doing your best all the time. Sa asawa ko na namatay, he would probably say na he's also gonna be very proud of who I am, what I am, my achievements. He's also been proud. And in one of the conversations that I had with him was kung sino yung unang mamamatay sa aming dalawa, ganyan. Ay, may ganyan kaming conversation. So, I asked him noon, kung sinong unang mamamatay, sino mas gusto mo unang mamatay, ikaw o ako? And then he said, ako. Sabi niya, kasi pag namatay ka, hindi ko na alam kung anong gagawin ko sa life ko. Hindi ko na alam kung how I will pick it up and how I would continue with the kids. Pero pag akong namatay, I'm 100% confident na mabubuhay mo ng maayos yung mga anak natin, mabubuhay mo ng mapipick up mo yung sarili mo at magiging somebody ka sa life. Magiging much better ka pa sa life. Siguro ang message ko sa kanya is, yeah, I'm still in the journey of doing that. Until the day I die, I will make sure na yung goal kasi namin mag-asawa is paghaharap kami kay Lord, sasabihin namin kay Lord, when it's judgment day, when it's your time to face Lord, ang kaya mong sabihin kay Lord na, Lord, nagawa ko lahat ha, and I even gave more. Kung ano yung binigay mo, binalik ko, and more. Kung ano yung expect mo, I exceeded your expectations. At kung ano man yung pinapangarap niya para sa pamilya namin, para sa mga anak namin, hindi magbabago. I'll make sure that it's gonna happen para sa mga bata.
Chef May's journey continues beyond the kitchen, guiding aspiring chefs, uplifting students, empowering solo parents, and creating opportunities for those still searching for hope. Her story reminds us that pain can become strength and true success is found in helping others rise. In every life she touches, every dream she helps nurture, and every opportunity she creates, we are reminded that the most beautiful things are made when different stories come together as one. This is the Salad Bowl.